Hello guys, this is Raptormon 132 here, and welcome to my 9th blind commentary video post of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 3. Yep, as you all know, I did episode 8. Today I'll be looking at episode 9, and this one is called Spike at Your Service. Interesting. Judging by the title, I'd say this is going to be a Spike-centered episode. Like, judging by the title, because, you know, it says Spike at your service. So, yeah, interesting. So, I'd say that I'm guessing that Spike's going to be tasked with something, like something big that's going to be beyond his control. So, I think that's what, like, that's what I'm assuming, judging by the title. But yeah, interesting to find out what Spike gets up to in this episode. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin with my reaction to episode 9. So without further ado, let's begin. Here we go.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Huh. That's not that many.
Are you kidding? How are you supposed to read 12 books in one weekend?
Princess Celestia obviously thinks I can, or she would never have assigned them to me. I'm not planning on
Really?
writing her down.
Well, I hope
If
you're
you were
not
the
planning
fastest
on
reader in the world, you could read them.
Actually, Spike, why don't you take the day off?
Really?
Why not? These books are going to keep me busy for a while.
I do have a long list of things I've been dying to do.
Really?
Touch nose with tongue.
Touch nose with...
Play bongos on my belly. Smell my dirty feet.
What?
That didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would.
Judging by this, Spike doesn't have very many things to do. It's almost like who actually lists touching nose with their tongue, playing bongos, playing your gut like a bongo drum, and smelling your feet as a thing of routine. I think it's stupid. But I guess Spike doesn't have that many things to do apart from helping Twilight. But yeah.
What to do, what to do. A hot air balloon ride.
Oh, hot air balloons. Uh-oh.
Oh no! Wait! Runaway balloon! Sorry!
Whoops. Taking Big Mac's card. Whoops. Ow. Huh. Then again, he wouldn't feel the burning. Uh-oh. The Everfree Forest. Not good.
Close one. If I didn't know better, I would swear that I was in the middle of the dark and scary Everfree Forest.
You're not wrong about that, Spike.
The forest? I thought that was a joke. We can't go in there. Students aren't allowed. And there are... werewolves.
Oh, there's more than werewolves in those trees, lad. You can be sure of that.
What was that? Come on, Spike. Just because this forest is full of wild, dangerous animals doesn't mean that you're gonna see one.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. Uh-oh. Timberwolf!
Timberwolves. Look at these dum-dums.
Those look CGI. Come on, Spike. You have fire breath. Burn those things alive.
Come and get me, you big goons!
Hey, Applejack.
Run! I'm running! I'm running!
Well, burning them with fire would have been just as would have been more effective. But oh well.
Dum-dums.
Wow, Applejack, that was amazing. I mean, you rocketed those boulders at them like they were rockets. Pow, 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 pow. You saved my life. You saved my life.
That's what friends do.
Ha, don't mention it, Spike. Come on, we should be heading on back now.
Man, am I lucky you were out here. Why were you out here?
Saw the balloon floating by with no pony in it. Came out here to investigate. Guess you did too, huh?
Yeah. I was investigating the runaway hot air balloon too.
Sure you were.
Now that the mystery's been solved, let's get out of here, huh?
Uh-oh.
Thanks for welcoming
Those
over,
timber walls are
Spike.
regenerative.
Very kind of you.
They can put
But now I
themselves
have some
together.
chores that need tending to, so see you later.
What chores? I'll do them.
That's sweet, but you don't
It's
have
the
to...
least I can do. You saved my life. I need to repay the favor.
Shoot, Spike. That's what friends do for each other. You don't need to repay the favor.
Yes, I do.
Sugar, it's okay. It's not necessary.
Applejack, you don't
Sugar?
understand.
Don't you mean
This is
sugar
something I
cube?
really need to do.
Well, I hate to get in the way of you doing something you need to do.
Great. What should I do?
Apple Bloom's over yonder giving little Pickinton a bath. I was gonna lend her
Pickinton.
a hook, but maybe you could lend her one instead.
On the double. Applejack said I could help you.
Great! I could use all the help I can get.
Ugh. God, look at that fat pig. Whoop.
Wait till Applejack sees how you sparkle. Ta-da!
Good job, you two.
Applejack, is it okay if I get going? I don't want to be late for my Crusaders meeting. We're getting
Oh.
ready for water skis.
You
What?
definitely don't want to be late for that.
Oh.
King Shorty, here I come.
That's the CMC. When you got a bad idea, stick to it. Off to another butt symbol brigaded misadventure. Sorry, continue.
Spike, you can head on out too. I reckon you have repaid me in full, so we are officially even Steven.
What? Oh no. We aren't even close to being even,
What?
Steven. Please, Applejack, you must allow me to assist you further.
I don't know, Spike. Just don't feel right to have you doing things for me.
Please?
Really, you don't.
Pretty please?
It's sad
It's just
because
not
you know.
necessary.
Pretty please?
Who could resist that little face?
Oh, all right. You can help Granny Smith and me bake some
Pies! Pies! I'm helping Applejack make some pies!
Ugh.
Spike, little feller, could you get us some more eggs?
Coming right up.
I'll give it to you, Granny Smith. That was good.
Sorry,
Oh.
Applejack. Let me get something to clean that up.
Oh, you're making a mess.
Oh dear. He's making a bigger mess. This is really sad.
Appreciate all your help today, Sugar Cube. But
You know, it's really sad. You know, Spike has spent most of his life doing chores and assisting Twilight that he probably doesn't know what to do with his time. Like, if he was in our world, there would be computers, television, and console games, video game arcades, movies. It's too bad they don't have any of those in Equestria. Because, you know, Equestrians are living it rough. Well, probably not the ones in, perhaps, the Equestria Girls universe. But yeah. But the Pony World, they really are living it rough. Because if we had all of that, Spike would have plenty of things to keep himself amused, apart from doing chores and things like that. Anyway, continue.
I can take it from here.
Don't be ridiculous. It is my honor and my duty. Today's just the beginning.
What's that now?
You saved my life. According to the Spike the Dragon Code, I
Dragon
owe-
Code?
and must serve you.
Now, what about Twilight? Doesn't she need your help and such?
Huh, you're right. I better break the news to Twilight. I just hope she doesn't take it too hard. Be right back.
Well, we'll see.
Come on, Spike. This is your personal, moral, ethical dragon code we're talking about. You have to do this. It's not like you and Twilight won't be friends anymore, but it won't be the same. But
I wonder what's going to happen here.
Twilight, Applejack just saved my life from horrible dragon-eating timberwolves.
She's not
as
paying
a
attention.
warrior, I adhere to my dragon code, and this means I must serve her for the rest of my natural-born days. I'm sure you understand.
She's not paying attention.
In an honor, I'm your faithful assistant.
Sounds good.
She's not paying... Twilight was not paying attention, so she would be oblivious.
She said it was okay.
Really?
So, with Twilight's blessing, I'm free to follow my code.
That's what happens when with Twilight being addicted to
Now,
books.
Until forever.
You're dead, honey.
I feel sorry for you, Applejack, and Granny Smith. Ugh,
Listen, Sugar Cube.
that's a bad
I
pie.
respect your dragon code. Truly, I do, but I just can't cotton with you permanently serving me.
Please, Applejack. My dragon code is a part of me. I have to be true to myself. If you don't let me do this, I won't be a noble dragon anymore.
Oh, well, I can't have you feeling like you're not a noble dragon now, can I?
Great.
Looks like you're
Then from
stuck.
now on in, your wish is my command.
Whatever you may ask becomes my heavy task. I only live to serve you.
Unless...
Okay. I would like you to... Oh.
all these chores.
Help me take some of the pie you made to...
Rarity?
Sure, why not?
I am bacon.
That looks disgusting. Even Rarity believes so. Eat it. Go for it. Go for it.
Try it.
Go for it, go for it.
You even look good when you're chewing. Chewing. Aren't you gonna have some more?
I had a big lunch.
It's 10 in the morning.
A big breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
she
you
probably
should
had
take
second
that
breakfast.
and wash it off.
As you wish.
What was that all about?
I saved Spike from some timberwolves in the Everfree Forest, and now he thinks he has to serve me forever.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have some pony forever in my debt. I'd get him to organize my closets and give me pedicures and help me with my sewing and...
Oh, yeah, having some pony
Oh,
for
God.
everybody would be a dream come true. But I don't feel right having Spike thinking he owes me something.
Yeah, and it's typical of Rarity. If Spike was in debt to Rarity, Rarity would make Spike his eternal slave. you know, judging by what she says, like clean out my closets, give me manicures or pedicures. Oh God, that's not in debt. That's slavery. Then again, she would take advantage of Spike's affection towards him, or towards her, as you know. But, oh well. Anyway, continue.
When you tasted that pie, sometimes his help isn't that helpful.
Do you
That's true.
have a broom I could borrow?
Yuck, messy, isn't it?
Hey, Rarity, what's happening? Applejack saved
Hey, Rainbow.
Spike's life and now he has to serve her forever. Sweet.
What are you having him do? Wash your laundry? Clean your room? Help you with your unfinished novel? Mine's about this awesome Pegasus who's the best flyer ever and becomes the captain of the Wonderbolts.
Is that
Come
you?
up with that ingeniously woven, intricate plot line.
Just came to me.
Thing is, I don't.
I bet
really
it's
want him
based
to
on you, Rainbow.
But I don't know how to get him to stop.
That's easy. Just make him help you with something really, really hard.
I don't know. I don't want him to get hurt.
Please. He'll quit way before there's even a chance of getting hurt.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
So, Spike, Applejack was gonna help me stack some hay so I could practice smashing through it, but I'm feeling extra powerful today.
You are?
Yeah, I am. So instead of hay, I'm gonna smash through rocks. Rocks?
Really?
Yeah, a huge tower of rocks, and you're gonna build it.
I am?
Yeah, I mean...
How is he gonna do that?
Applejack. I do. It is Spike's Dragon Code.
If he was fully grown dragon, then yes, he would.
Trust me. This is gonna work like a charm.
The plumbing.
I was sure he'd give up after like 3 rocks.
Oh, goodness. If it had been me,
Uh,
I just pretended I didn't have anything for him to
Hey,
do.
Fluttershy.
Why didn't I think of that?
Is this high enough? That's plenty.
Oh, God.
Come on down, Spike.
Bad news, he actually ended up building the
It's
whole
not entirely stable.
Good news. I've got a rock tower to knock down.
Well, be careful what you wish for, Rainbow.
Was awesome.
Ouch.
Want to do it again, Rainbow
Oh,
Dash?
that was
Applejack
close.
built it for ya. And when I say Applejack, I of course mean me. Sure.
No! I mean, I don't think Rainbow Dash needs any more of your help. My help. She doesn't need it. Right, Rainbow Dash?
Yeah. I guess I'm good. For now.
And so am I.
Even the daring Rainbow Dash has her limits.
So, you don't have to do anything else.
What do you mean you can't think of anything else I can help with?
Exactly that. There's nothing else. I don't want you to do anything.
If I don't help you, how will I know I'm a noble dragon?
Well,
By being a good,
Help with
by
things
being
you don't even
good.
realize you need help with.
If she needed help, I think she'd realize it.
Maybe not. Maybe Applejack needs help realizing what she needs help with.
Really?
Like, maybe your back itches.
that does feel
See? Or you might need help remembering your favorite song.
That looks more like scratching her her ass.
Than just guarding treasure.
I don't think that's her favorite song.
Or you might need help breathing.
breathing. I certainly do not.
See? There are plenty of things I can help you with. And you don't even have to trouble yourself with thinking of them.
No, I'll think of them. Let me think of them.
As you wish.
Twilight! Twilight, are you there? Twilight!
Yep. She's too focused on.
Ah!
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
No, it's okay. I need to take a break anyway. What's going on?
I know Spike told you that he was gonna follow his dragon code and serve me forever for saving him from the Timberwolves, and that you were okay with it, but
Wait, what?
he said he told
Just
you
as I thought.
I'm guessing maybe you were a little distracted when he told you.
Yep.
Maybe a little.
A little. I'd say distracted to the core, more likely. You were so fixated on those fucking books that you weren't fucking paying attention. Typical Twilight. Not even always paying attention to her books instead of what's around her.
I'm typical. Come on.
Guess that's what happens when you don't pay attention. Continue.
You wouldn't have let him go so easily. Well, now that you know what's going on, maybe you could talk some sense into him.
Oh, Applejack, I wish I could, but this is dragon code we're talking about. Surely you know how important the dragon code is to a dragon.
I sure am starting to.
There's only one other way Spike is gonna fulfill the debt he feels he owes you.
Yeah.
70, 71, 72, 73, 5.
Counted grass
Here's
blades.
the deal. Spike needs to save my life.
And you want to shoot you out of a cannon towards a hornet's nest and give
No. Bad idea.
Be attacked by a timber wolf.
A Tim.
Can I still wear the mustache?
Ugh.
It's not going to work.
When I give the signal, Pinkie Pie and Rarity will come running out of the woods. Big
Yeah.
pursued by the
This is
timber
gonna be an epic
I'll try to
fail.
run too, but then pretend to get my hoof stuck. I'll ask Spike to help me dislodge
Or
it.
maybe
He
this will
so
go
he'll be able to
completely
get away
wrong.
from the terrifying Timberwolf. Heaven save
In
me
fact,
from
I have a
this
feeling that
dude.
those
Will they
Timberwolves
consider
will
us
come
equal?
back,
Everybody get it?
judging by the thing at the start.
Do my best. Just one question.
Yes? No.
Ah, the fucking mustache!
We are all ready to play our parts, but are you sure you are ready to play yours, Applejack?
What do you mean?
Show us your best damsel in distress move.
Damsel in distress.
Well, how's this? Ooh.
Absolutely horrendous. This needs some serious work. Now first, you must
The
place
expert,
your
Rarity.
to your forehead, like so.
Applejack!
Uh-oh.
No time. Here he comes. Over here, Spike.
You said you had something else you needed me to do?
Oh, yes, I was just hoping you could maybe sweep up all those leaves for a compost pile and...
But, of course. By the way, there are exactly 24,567,837 blades of grass at Sweet Apple Acres.
I
Oh,
can't believe
God.
I counted every single one of them.
It would have taken him ages to do that.
And as a noble dragon and follower of my dragon code, I...
Uh-oh. Yep.
Very convincing.
Timberwolf! We are doomed.
That... I knew it. The Timberwolves are coming. The real ones. Yeah, I saw the eyes. I suspected that.
You've got to be kidding. No one is stupid enough to believe that.
Ugh. This is gonna be bad. Rainbow!
Oh,
How the heck does Rainbow know how to make a growling noise, like a roaring noise like that? Like, she must be a really good voice actor if she's able to do that. Sorry, continue.
I seem to have got my hoof caught in between two rocks.
Oh.
I cannot run away. I am a damsel in distress.
This is bad.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I told you, it's an epic fail. And the real Timberwolves are going to be coming pretty
He
soon.
would be terrifying if he wasn't a fake. You got the clomping of his claws. The roar was spot on. And the detail on his face is pretty good. But you forgot one thing. His breath. You can smell a real Timberwolf's breath from a mile.
Uh-oh. You were saying?
Too late. I'm already on. Timberwolf!
Yep. I knew they'd be back. And I bet this will be the time where Applejack has to... Or Spike has to save Applejack. Well, I got him. Whoop. Oh, she's stuck. Yep, they can regenerate. Uh-oh. So they can morph into... They can morph into one?
I'm really stuck.
No more messing around.
Oh, shit. Timberwolves can merge together.
Come on.
Now it's a Mega Timberwolf.
Forget it, Spike. You gotta get out of here. Would you
Just burn it.
coat already and go?
No! I have to save you!
What? A stone.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Let's get out of here!
You're kidding. Just one stone. That thing's down.
What happened to you guys back there? You were right behind us.
My hook was.
This reminds me of the story of, like, the old story of David and Goliath. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was a reference to that. You know, it's not the first time they've referenced mythology. First there was Anchises and the lion. Then there was the story of I forgot his name, but it's the one with the guy, the Minotaur, and going into a maze. And well, I wouldn't be, but I think you get the point. But this is obviously a reference to the story of David and Goliath. You know, using a stone, except instead of hitting the forehead and the giant dies, instead it goes into the Mega Timberwolf's mouth and chokes it to death and makes it crumble to pieces. Kudos to the writers for that. But it would have been just as effective if they would have just burnt it alive with fire. You know, Spike could have easily just threw his dragon breath and lit it on fire, just like he did to those storm guards in the My Little Pony movie.
Hey, ain't you a fire-breathing dragon?
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
That would have been much more interesting. You know, watching a Timberwolf burn. That would have been well, if they did that, it would have been somewhat dark, but somewhat comedic at the same time. But it would have been more interesting to watch. Anyway, continue.
Stuck, and that Timberwolf was coming right at me.
Wait, you were actually stuck?
Uh-huh. But Spike picked up a pebble and rocketed that thing right at the huge Timberwolf's mouth. Saved my life. It was nothing. It was something, all right. Of course,
I'd call it luck.
If I hadn't been trying to stage a fake Timberwolf attack in the first place. Yeah. What was that all about? I know this code thing's important to you, but if something like this comes up in the future,
yeah,
maybe we can go back to my code, say that's what friends do, and leave it at that. I promise I won't think of you as any less noble.
Yeah, you wouldn't be any different than you are now.
But maybe let's just try to avoid situations where one of us actually needs the other one to save their life.
You got yourself a deal.
Huh. Fist bump, or hoof bump, or bro hoof.
Thanks, Spike.
Happy to help.
Don't know what I'd do without you.
No, really. I'm really, really, really happy to help you.
Yep, guess that's it.
Just promise me something.
Anything, sir.
Never try to save my life again.
Well, what do I have to say about this episode? I have to admit it was interesting. You know, seeing Spike doing service to all the, like, to everyone he knows, but I think it was actually a bit obsessive that Spike would, you know, honor a code, but I didn't even know dragons had a code. It's the first time I've heard of it. And yeah, and you know, like I mentioned before, seeing that Spike only does chores and nothing else. If you think about it, that's somewhat sad. Like, it's like he doesn't know what to do with his spare time. Instead of just doing chores or doing, you know, he could be doing lots of things, like reading a book himself, or going to see a movie, or heck, if he was and like I mentioned, if he was in our world, he could be playing on a computer or a console game, or or watching TV, or listening to music, or Yeah, but yeah, it's and I guess being an assistant all your life can really have an impact on you. But Spike can be noble, like noble by being kind, gentle, and helpful to other ponies. That's how he can be noble. It has nothing to do with a code. So yeah, and interesting to see those I sort of suspected that the Timberwolves would be back. Like as soon as I saw them go back together, I knew that they would be back. And finding out that they were going to assist a Timberwolf thing, it was like, yep, I knew. Like, I suspected what was going to happen. And finding out that Applejack would need help from the Timberwolf, and they do a reference to David and Goliath. So, yeah. It's like, but it actually makes me think that Timberwolves, they could be, the only thing that the Timberwolves would actually fear would be, flame, or would be fire. So, Spike could have easily taken on a Timberwolf by lighting it on fire and burning it. Because if he would have burnt the Timberwolf, it would be gone for good. It could easily be burnt alive and, burnt to a smoking cinder, and that would be the end of it. But I guess MLP doesn't do that. But yeah, so I guess this is a show aimed for kids, so yeah, it would be the other alternative. So yeah, but I thought Spike would have, but and I also noticed something else, that Spike doing the chores, like with Applejack and all of that, he's a lot neater and a lot more less clumsy with his chores than he is with Twilight. I mean, he's a lot more clumsy. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like when he was doing chores for Applejack, he was very clumsy and very, not someone you'd want to work with. But when he's with Twilight, he's not as clumsy. He's actually very careful, cautious, and very thorough. I guess it's because since he's too fixed onto his fixed onto his dragon code, he just kind of forgets. So yeah, I just noticed that. But all in all, this was a fun episode to see, and an interesting episode with Spike. So I guess I'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed my blind reaction to episode 9 of season 3 of MLP, and hopefully I'll get on to episode 10 as soon as I can when I get the chance. But as usual, until then, thank you all for watching. This is Raptormon132 saying bye bye everyone. Bye bye.